Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Renfield Park, and welcome back to another video of Planet Zoo. My name is Rad Ryan, and of course you guys know that, but today we are going to be building ourselves a lovely Jaguar Habitat. And you probably ask, why the Jaguar? Well, it is probably one of the most well-known South American animals, and I love the cat family, and what better not to put next a jaguar? They were probably one of the most best looking cats in the cat family. Well, you guys already know what the cat families are, but I mean, I would say the panther first, and then the jaguar second. But anyway, I'm trying to go for more of a natural, like, inlaid, so like just make the map part of the habitat more vibrantly, so just using the earth to sculpt out their cave and kind of just sculpt out the surrounding areas. And at the moment, I want to go for a underground viewing area, where you can go and see them from inside of a cave. I like the idea, and I wanted to do it for where their sleeping quarters are going to be. So the cave will run towards where they will be sleeping, like their quarters. But my plan is to use one-way glass so that, I mean, the animals really can't see what the humans can't. Really can't see the humans. So that's pretty much my goal here, and we're gonna get started with placing our one-way glass in. I mean, the way that the glass fits in ties in with everything, and you'll see I also do like a main viewing gallery, which is gonna look like straight into their habitat, and that will have like a round path where people can kind of go and stand and kind of gather. But the cave viewing gallery is also very key importance, because having more than two viewing galleries kind of gets people to kind of drag along everywhere in the zoo, and what better one way to kind of keep the animals fine and not stressed all the time than putting the one-way glass, so I mean they can't see the humans, which is very important. You do not want to be stressing out your animals too much, so putting one-way glass on most habitats is going to be very important. But I mean, if you're doing franchise mode, I'm pretty much guessing that you have to kind of research the one-way glass eventually. But we're doing this in sandbox mode, where we got so much more freedom to kind of build what we want to build. And there's been a couple frames where the footage kind of lags out, but it's alright. My PC has been pretty much eating itself alive lately. I'm not sure what's going on, and maybe I need to get a new graphics card or something. But anyway, it's running. It's been running pretty fine for the moment. But yeah, like, I think now that we're gonna decide to do more of this Planet Zoo stuff, we're gonna have to kind of beef up a little bit more system stuff. But yeah, I just enjoy playing this game, and I think one of my favorite things in this game is also like placing rocks and foliage, and I mean the whole building mechanic and system of things. It's just fascinating to me, and placing rocks is fun. Like, believe it or not, it might be time consuming, but it's very much fun. So yeah, we're just gonna run here. I'm using this like very dark tropical rock, which looks nice, and I mean, it's South America. It is tropical, so I mean, South America is a very tropical area, so that's what we're kind of trying to look for. I would have, if we didn't use this rock, we would have used the green mossy, but I don't really like the way that the green moss rock does, like tropical moss rock looks. So I just use this rocks, and so just kind of laying out the barrier of their habitat with this rock. It starts to kind of put itself together eventually, and I just think it looks amazing. So I mean, like I said, believe me or not, placing rocks in this game is actually probably one of the most fun things to do, because you can get so much different forms of rocks, and you can kind of just place these rocks wherever you want to place them, and it just ties everything together. It's wonderful. Um, so yeah, just I noticed that looking back at this footage, I did place that habitat gate the wrong way. I do go back and fix it a bit later on, but just enjoy me placing rocks everywhere, and let you guys enjoy this part. And as you guys will see here, I also start to kind of lay out the viewing area by the glass inside the cave, and just placing rocks kind of ties everything together, kind of just making it look less bland and like there's just a large piece of glass just sitting there. So you need to kind of have an area where the glass kind of sits in, and I mean, it's got to have story, it's got to have a picture behind it. So what better not way to use rocks to kind of explain that picture. Just laying the entrance of the cave with rocks. More rocks, more and more and more rocks yet to come. So it's just going to be an outrageous spindle of rocks laid inside of this cave. I mean, I like the way that it looks. It turns out to be very fascinating, and I like the touch that I gave it with the tropical rock. And yeah, I mean, jaguars live like lower, like they usually live in lower parts of jungles and mountains. So, I mean, rock is gonna be a very big part of their habitat. So, I guess just placing this everywhere and making it just looks more natural, like their habitat was, they kind of like fell into the habitat and they kind of just made it their own. And I mean, the story behind it could be so like magnificent. Like I want to make these I want to make the zoo more just like it was, like a natural habitat was built into the zoo, while the zoo was built around the natural elements of these animals' habitats. So I mean, that's very interesting to kind of put it that way. But yeah, here I did fix. Like I said, I did notice that the gate was kind of placed wrong. So I did fix it. Gladly enough, I do look back at some of the footage. Not like after recording like a big chunk of it, and then looking back at some mistakes or some things that I think I could change. I mean, the day system and the lighting in this game put me a bit to trick to kind of get inside of some angles to place rocks. But I mean, it all pulls itself together, like it always does, I guess. So, just tying up around here by the gate. placing these rocks as best as I can to kind of form that, like the gate was placed inside the rock. So, I mean, I got as best as I could. Like, you can't say I did not try, so. But yeah, it looks wonderful. It's good enough for animals to be placed in there and keepers to come in. And yeah, I mean, the terrain was giving a bit of trouble inside this inside the cave, their sleeping quarter to cave. And I mean, I decided just to kind of close everything with a rock inside there. I wasn't gonna really worry too much by trying to get this terrain to work perfectly. I mean, you can hide a lot of imperfections with rock, which is very, very, very sweet. And I like the way the rock looks in general, so just lining everything with rock inside this is just to hide those imperfections inside their cave. It looks great. I mean, terrain's not always gonna work with you, especially in sandbox mode. You will come to find a lot of imperfections in like placing terrain down and just moving the terrain or sculpting the terrain. You'll find a lot of challenges doing that in sandbox mode rather than franchise. I mean, franchise does give you a bit of problems with that, but not more, because sandbox is more just to be like an open and free. So sometimes the sandbox mode can be a little bit broken in the sense of moving and messing with terrain, and we're gonna start putting our jaguars into this habitat. I'm trying to find some perfect jaguars to kind of place in here. I mean, what's the whole point of it is to get the best of the best, and we want the best of the best in this one. I mean, for the monkeys, I wasn't really too worried. I had to place 40 monkeys in there, so I wasn't gonna really worry about fertility and the whole 9 yards kind of thing. But yeah, I spent a lot of time just like off camera, kind of just running through and kind of fixing a little bit things inside by the monkey area and stuff. But yeah, just trying to get some perfect jaguars in here. I decided just to turn some of the welfare stuff on for them, just so I can get a lay of what they need. And I mean, otherwise I could have just decked out their whole terrain and stuff with. I didn't want to put too much than what was needed. I don't want to make them live in like a, because I didn't really give them I gave them plenty of land space, but not enough where I can kind of just flood the whole habitat with foliage and trees and rocks and climbing features. So I mean, what I decided to go with was these two larger trees, so I can kind of put some climbing platforms on top of them and between them. And yeah, I decided that we're gonna just go for our own custom built climbing frames for them. So yeah, just using these larger wooden floor. I don't know what you call them, but I decided to just use the wooden platforms here to kind of just make a climbing frame for them, and where they can just go up and chill. And then I do put some enrichment items up on there so that it kind of gives them an excuse to go on there. But yeah, just putting some supports in there just to make it look a little natural. Gives it a little bit of a. It gives it a little bit of element, and just creating like a little bridge between the two platforms, so that they kind of just can go in between the two. I didn't really try to kind of see like if they will go on it or not. I might have to go back in there and kind of just make them go in and kind of see if they will actually test out like the different climbing frames that's in there. Just putting up some more welfare options on for them, so that we can kind of just see what they need and if the climbing frame and space is going to be good enough for them. Plenty of habitat space just for like two Jaguars in there, which is pretty much what the Zoopedia kind of said that we could only put in there was about two of them, like one male, one female. I mean, juveniles will be a different story, but we'll end up like doing conservation and kind of sending them out. I mean, the mom and dad are kind of, I think they're both. Well, the dad is gonna be like it has a golden badge on it, and I think the mom Jaguar has a silver. I wasn't gonna place too much trees in here. I did place those reeds to kind of clean up the water a bit, and this bush that I'm placing in there, I think it looked fine. And just placing, I outlined a little bit of the edge of the pond for them. Jaguars do like to swim, so give them a little bit of water so they can kind of enjoy it. They don't really like it too deep, but deep enough so they can kind of swim in there. I mean, you would think cats don't like to swim, but Jaguars are pretty much, they can swim and they're pretty good at swimming, so giving them land space that they need and giving them what they need was very easy option. Kind of just tying out the surrounding scenery for guests, and eventually I might, after like placing these Jaguars in here, I might get some, like open the zoo a bit, so get some guests in here, get them circulating and kind of just enjoying what we've built for them, and just tying up the area, making it look more like the entrance, giving it more that atmospheric, kind of just tying in, putting everything together. And I like the way that this purple plant does look, and we do put some of this and some more of the bracken, but this I forgot the name of the two-tone bush that I placed there first, but the bracken also looks nice sitting in there. I decided to put a little bit of water in there, like a little extra pond, and getting some more of the mist. I didn't want to go out too crazy with the mist, but placing enough, and also in this cave kind of gives it that atmospheric so they can kind of walk in there. And I mean, it's scenery. Like, what guest would not enjoy coming in this zoo and just, it's so much scenic items. But yeah, I'm gonna let this close out so you guys can kind of just watch the rest of this without listening to me blab on. But one more thing, I do like the way that this torch does look out throughout the zoo, and I will place it everywhere, so I mean, this all around it just looks great, and I love the way that everything turned out. So just finishing up the last minute touches and finishing out. It looks wonderful. I love the way everything looks. Just moving this glass, the glare was too much, so yeah. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this speed build, and let's go take a tour of the Jaguar Habitat. Enjoy! Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are here to take a wonderful look at our wonderful jaguars, not the monkeys. We're gonna go this way and the way of our jaguars. Oop, almost ran into that keeper. But yeah, just the way that the foliage ties in with the landscape, and love this path, like the black pathway. There is a staff path going that way, so that guests can kind of get, the staff can kind of get to this habitat quick enough. But our first, our very first viewing area of our jaguars, you can see them. Aw, just look at them. They're so cool. With the one that's right there. Oh, he's climbing up. That's so cool. He's gonna play with his box. I think that's a girl. It might be a guy. But anyway, yeah, just the habitat looks cool. There is this climbing frame. I'm not sure if they'll ever use it, but it's, if they decide to kind of get closer, I might put like beam that extends from this tip here to their, to that climbing frame there. So I mean, so it can kind of come all the way around. They want to take that pathway up. But yeah, it's their choice, and he decided to come down. Where are you? Aw, look at it. Yeah, I think the other one is either in that area there, or is probably sleeping. So I mean, let's go take a look at the other viewing gallery, which is gonna be around here. I just love the way that looks, and just I tied everything up with this foliage, and just cool, awesome, and just the scenery coming into this cave is just ties everything together. The rocks as well coming in here. I said it. I called it. She is here. I think that's the guy. The girl is out there playing. The male jaguar is in. I put these torches in here because it does look wonderful at night. Switch it to nighttime. Kind of gives that glare, and ooh. Also this cave too. With the fire lanterns, everything just ties in so nicely during the nighttime. But poor guy. Poor guy. Get some rest. Hope you have good dreams. But yeah, everything kind of ties in. I was gonna put like an above the habitat kind of viewing area. I was gonna put it up maybe up top. Make it stretch up here around. But yeah, I think everything kind of turned out the way that I wanted it to. It just looks so natural, and just get to see so much more. This way with a round glass, you can see almost everything in this habitat. You can pretty much actually see everything in this habitat, and just so wonderful. Love it. I think going on, this is gonna give us more reason to actually try harder to build like these zoos. I might put some wooden pillars here just to kind of maybe separate the glass a bit, or just make this one large glass. I might do that, give one large curved one, but we'll see the way this works. I think they're both in there. One's in the water, one's male. You can just hear. Yeah, I think this is great. I love the way that this habitat and everything turned out. It's just wonderful, and I also need to get some boards, some education boards. But I'll be doing that in the next episode, putting up some more education boards, more scenery stuff. Maybe some shop. We'll probably build like a shop area somewhere, or for the next episode, I was thinking about putting the giant anteater in, building them small. It's either a giant anteater or the red panda is going to be next. that was for the Jaguars, and I just love the way that everything turned out. So we'll see you guys in the very next episode of Renfield Park and Planet Zoo. Peace out, guys.